So my freshman year, I lived in a freshman dormitory. It was the last 3 years that I lived in the fraternity house, but I had a roommate who was pre-med like me, but really was seeking his freedom, and he got drunk on weekends. At times I had to carry him up 2 flights of stairs to the room, help him on Sunday mornings find his car because he was driving and didn't know where he'd parked it. Of course, I didn't have a car. So all of that said, avoid alcohol. And then, of course, with my father, particularly after my mother died, he began to drink on his days off. And so going out with him was a real chore because he would tend to get to have too much to drink, and the ride home was really scary. And eventually I convinced him that I'd do the driving. So that was a bad example. It was kind of a binge drinking for him. It was one day off. There's a good chance that he would overuse alcohol. And I stayed away from it all through medical school. And it was only when we were in the Peace Corps, when we were out in a dugout canoe on a river looking for a new site for volunteers in the tropical heat, we realized we'd made a mistake and didn't bring enough water with us. And we stopped at a little village, and the only thing they had to drink that was safe was warm beer. So there's more to that story, but so I said, well, have to be more. This was in the Beni region of Bolivia, which is out of the mountains and down on the east side where the big plains, the headwaters of the Amazon River. So we're still thousands of miles from the headwaters, from the mouth of the Amazon, but starts in the Andes, moves down. So we were looking at a number of villages as possible places. I was with a group of maybe 4 or 5 from the Peace Corps office examining this, and I was to look at it from the medical perspective. So we go to the end of the road and get in a dugout canoe that has a motor, and people, we're going upstream, and we get to this place, which was a bunch of adobe thatched roof houses on kind of a turn. The river turned, and there was kind of a flat area where this little town was. It was about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and we were looking for something to eat and something to drink. This was shortly after I got into the country. I never made the mistake of being out there without food and water again. But the people I was with were really experienced, and I assumed they would have made provisions for this. They didn't, and so they just assumed we'd find someplace. We did. There was really nobody moving in this village. It was hot, and it was siesta time, and people were dozing in their houses. But we found a little place that had a pension sign on it, a sort of a place where we served meals, and maybe you could stay overnight if you had to. And found someone inside, woman, and she said, yeah, she had some rice and plantains. And we asked if she had bottled water. Oh no. But she had a case of Bolivian beer. It came in liter bottles, big bottles. So we had rice and plantains and warm beer. And I thought after that, maybe it's not so bad. And so I became I was then occasionally would have alcohol and not be too concerned about it. And of course, I was a long time away from my father at that point. So then back to where we were. We were going on a camping trip. I'm not sure what really stimulated us to do
Hold on
this.
just 1 second.